Welcome to the Uzziah Show. I am your host, Uzziah, your success strategist. And if you have any questions about your business, career, or finances, then this is the show for you. Welcome. I'm excited because tonight we're going to talk about the economy and where it's going in 2022. This is going to be really important, y'all. If y'all want to know how to get your money right for next year, you need to be on tonight's show because I'm going to walk you through what's coming and what you need to do to protect yourself and your family for the year to come. So if y'all like tonight's broadcast, please do me a favor and smash that like button. It only takes 2 seconds, but it goes a really long way. When you hit that like button, it tells YouTube to send this show out to more people, and y'all, more people need to know about this. Y'all know I try to play Black Robin Hood, right? Y'all know I try to take the secrets from the rich and give it to us common folks. Y'all know I'm trying to help the culture level up. So please smash that like button if you want to show support. And if you really want to show love, then please make sure that you donate. All you got to do to super chat is tap the dollar icon directly below the live chat box. Now, if this is your first time on this broadcast, welcome. My name is Uzziah. I'm a professional business consultant, and my job is to help you get out of debt so that you can start your own business. And one of the most important things that you need to know in order to create generational wealth is financial literacy. You need to know something about money if you're going to make it. Don't that sound pretty simple, guys? You know, there's so many people that's out there in this life that want to make a lot of money, but they don't want to learn anything about it. But how can you have much of anything if you don't know what's going on? So tonight, I'm going to tell you guys what the Federal Reserve has planned for the year 2022. I'm going to show you guys how to prepare, how it's going to impact you, and what steps you need to take to make sure that you and your family are financially secure. Big shout out to my brother Yasha Allah for starting us off on the right note. Let's give our brother a hand, man. Thank you so much. Oh, excellent, 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 excellent. Really appreciate you, my brother. For those of y'all that are just now joining, we're talking about rate hikes in 2022. Now, I know y'all are over there thinking, Uzziah, it's 8 o'clock, man. Damn, I don't want to hear nothing boring. I'm not going to bore y'all tonight. I promise you. My job is to take concepts that might sound deep in the school system, but I'm going to break it down and show you the relevance because this is information that you want to know. This is the type of stuff that y'all really want to know to level up, guys, okay? Because when you come on this channel, it's all about you learning how to become the best version of yourself so that you can reach your goals and have something to give back to your family. If you're on tonight's broadcast, then you want to build a legacy. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's talk about this. I'm going to start by showing y'all this article. I'm showing you guys what the Federal Reserve has in store. Now, the reason why I'm going over this, guys, is because this entire month I've been going hard on getting you ready for 2022. Every show is to prepare you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and financially for the year to come. So that way you have no excuse. I want to see you win. I want to see you make it, but you got to know what's coming. And so I need you to understand the economy is about to take a turn. And I want you to be the first ones to know about it so that way you could start making the adjustments today. Now, a lot of you guys have heard about the Federal Reserve. To keep it basic, the Federal Reserve simply controls how much money flows throughout the economy. I'm not going to take this thing any deeper than that, y'all. I'm not going to bore y'all. I'm not going to put y'all to sleep. We're going to talk real talk. And please make sure that you leave me a comment, okay? Make sure that you leave me a comment and let me know where you think the economy is going in the year to come. And as always, I'm going to give y'all a link to Cam Up. Here's the article, guys. The Federal Reserve wants to raise interest rates 3 times in 2022. I need y'all to hear this. The Federal Reserve is looking to raise the interest rates. Why is this dude on here just randomly talking? The Federal Reserve is looking to raise interest rates 3 times in 2022. Now, without y'all being distracted by this sheriff that's on the screen, just in some random video, block that out. I'm trying to show y'all what's happening in the economy. When most people hear about the Federal Reserve, they have no idea what that's talking about. When most people hear that the Federal Reserve is going to raise interest rates up to 3 times in 1 year, most people have no idea what that's saying. So I need y'all, as y'all are trying to level up and make more money in the year to come, to understand what this is about, how it impacts you because it affects all of us, and how you can make the right decisions starting today to improve your tomorrow. Now, let's look at this article, guys. It says America's inflation spikes have prompted the Federal Reserve to pick up the pace in normalizing its pandemic era monetary policy. The reason why the article says pandemic era monetary policy is during the pandemic, the economy changed. We're going to talk a lot about how 19, you know what, how that changed the entire landscape of how money flows in America and how you have to be prepared for the change. See, a lot of y'all think that money always stays the same. Money is always moving. That's the reason why there are trillions of dollars that flows to the economy every single day. Money is not meant to stay in one place. This is the reason why when you take your money and put it in the bank is loaning your money out to other people because the only value of a dollar is when it's in circulation. Now it says here, America's inflation spikes have prompted the Federal Reserve to pick up the pace in normalizing its pandemic era monetary policy. How many of y'all have felt the rising prices of goods and services in America? How many of y'all have noticed a difference in the price of gas? How many of y'all have noticed a difference in the cost of groceries? If y'all have been noticing a raise in prices, it's because of inflation. We are at an all-time high on inflation, going back to as high as it was during 1982. On Wednesday, the central bank said it will wrap up its stimulus program faster than originally announced. See, I told y'all that y'all would want to know about this. Y'all was thinking, oh man, I ain't trying to hear that. It's Thursday. It's almost Friday. I want to get paid. I don't want to hear nothing about no damn interest rate, but you totally do because you have financial goals in 2022. You've decided that you want to take things to the next level, and that's why you're investing your time in learning how to do it. My job is to just make this as easy for you as possible, okay? So what this is saying is that All of that stimulus money that we was looking out for, they stopping that because they recognize that all of the stimulus money that was put into the economy damaged the economy long term. I have been telling y'all on this broadcast for months. All of that stimulus money was the chickens that were coming home to roost. America has artificially pumped up this economy so much that there are $6 trillion that came just from stimulus from the pandemic alone. Over 50% of all US dollars that are in the economy right now came upon the last 2 years of printed money. So I need y'all to understand what the long-term effects of that are. See, if y'all don't know nothing else about money, one thing that y'all need to know is that anytime something feels good in the short term, is going to have long-term consequences. Do y'all know what it's like whenever y'all go out shopping? Y'all are just impulse buying. You ain't really budgeted for this, but you're starting to spend things, spending beyond your means. It's like that when we talk about inflation, because the same way that you was out there spending without a care, it might have felt good in the moment as you were buying, but then 2 weeks from now, there you was holding your head. I don't got no money. Where all my money go? That's the state of America today. America is highly in debt, has issued all kind of stimulus money, and now it's trying to fix the damage of what has happened. And every last one of us are going to be affected as the economy tries to recover itself. With all of this inflation that has come to this world, we're going to be the ones to have to pay for it literally. Okay. So it says, I'm gonna just hit y'all with this price right here. If you don't understand nothing else, y'all understand what them prices look like. I'm not gonna go into nothing else deep on this. I'm about to go and check y'all's comments. We're not about to read through the whole article because I'm not gonna put y'all to sleep. This is not gonna be a snooze fest. But I just want y'all to look at these prices, think about your wallet, and we're going to read this part right here where it says prices for U.S. consumers jumped 6.8% in November compared with a year earlier, as surging costs for food, energy, housing, and other items left Americans enduring their highest annual inflation rate since 1982. Most of us have never experienced this kind of inflation from the time that we were born. Now, you know, our brother Yasha Allah, the senior brother on the panel, he knows what this is about. But a lot of us ain't ready for this. And that's the reason why I'm trying to prepare you guys before it comes. If you want to walk into 2022 making it your year, you need to know what to look out for. So let me take a quick pause for a second. All right. I'm not going to talk y'all to death. I'm going to look at these comments and see where y'all are at on this topic. Okay. Listen, y'all. Y'all know if there's one thing that I like on this broadcast, it's the commentary. I need y'all leaving me comments. Even if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about tonight, just leave me a comment. Uzziah, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. What is inflation, bruh? Can you break it down for me? That's what we're talking about in tonight's broadcast. I don't need y'all's energy like this. I need y'all's energy on high, and I need y'all to understand what this is saying. Shout out to Ariel. Y'all know Ariel is always in the house, holding things down for the house of Uzziah. Yes, Ariel, I'm trying to break it down and make it very clear for the people. So I'm going to just go ahead and put this link out there early. I want y'all to cam up tonight, as always, because I want to have a dialogue with y'all about what this means. And why is it that we've never been taught about this in our communities? Why is it that you only see rich folks understanding what the Federal Reserve really means and how interest rates impact the economy. Why is it that in the average urban neighborhood, we don't even understand what this is talking about? We've never known about the Federal Reserve. We don't know the difference between inflation versus a recession. We don't understand none of these terms, but yet we want to make a lot of money. If you don't understand the bag, how can you ever get to the bag? If you don't truly understand what the bag is about, the bag is going to escape you every time. And that's what I'm trying to prevent from happening in the year to come. Some of you guys might have had an awesome year in 2021. But if you don't see the shift in the economy, there's a chance that you could take a loss. Shout out to Sheer Queen. I see you on, my sister. Shout out to you. All right. She said, I felt it's almost Friday. We almost there, Sheer Queen. We almost there. Okay. But let's just put this out there. All right. Because a lot of y'all getting paid tomorrow. And after tonight's broadcast, you may have some second thoughts about where that money is going to go, because you want to be prepared for the year to come. Now, the question that Sheer Queen asks is a good one. How did they not see that coming? Oh, they did see that coming. The problem is society is only designed for the top 1% to win. Our problem as a people is we truly think that this system is built for everybody to be rich. Everybody is not meant to be wealthy. It is only meant for a select few to eat. And the reason why they were comfortable in doing that is because even amidst all inflation, the rich are going to get richer. But as the rich get richer, you know what else is going to happen? The poor is going to get poorer, because we're not going to be able to afford basic goods and services. We're not going to be able to afford the cost of living like we did before. Housing is going up, food is going up, gas is going up. And one thing that's not going up as fast is a lot of our paychecks. For a lot of us that work at 9-to-5 jobs, at most, you're only looking at a 2.5% raise per year on average. Some of y'all might get a bigger bonus than that. Congratulations. But for the large majority of people, your raises do not outpace the rate of inflation. And that's the reason why I'm trying to show y'all how to level up with money. Some of y'all say, well, I'm at a job right now, Uzziah, making $70,000 a year. Why do I need to know anything about money? Because you're going to see as we go from one year to the next, $70,000 won't get you very far. I'm sorry, but I'm going to be the brother to tell you. I'm going to be the brother to tell you that unless you are intentionally trying to do better every single day, if you're not moving forward, you're falling backward. Okay. And I'm going to give y'all all the secrets and the gems so that way you can go and protect your families so that your child doesn't have to worry when he's going to get his next meal. Let's go back to this article now, y'all. Okay. Let's understand this. I put the link in the comments for y'all to cam up. Make sure that y'all hop in. Also, if you love what we're going over on tonight's broadcast and you want to do this for the culture, please donate. Your super chats and your sponsorships go a really long way. And whoever makes the highest donation for tonight's broadcast will be the official sponsor of the show. So shout out to whoever is going to be the official sponsor of the Federal Reserve broadcast. Now, look what it says here. At this pace, the Fed is another 2 meetings away from completing the wind down of the stimulus. So for all of y'all that was living off of those stimulus checks, all good things come to an end. And I want us as a community to stop carrying a mindset where we're only living off of the crumbs of society. Do y'all know what I'm saying? I'm saying we need to get out of the mindset that, oh, I got to get the stimulus check because if I don't get the stimulus check, I'm not going to eat. So you will live and die off of the expectation of free money. I want us to get out of the mindset of, oh, tax season right around the corner. I'm about to get that return from Uncle Sam. And as soon as I get that return, that's when I'm going to ball out. We need to stop thinking with that mindset. I want you to look at yourself as a producer rather than a consumer. And oftentimes, when we accustom ourselves to just waiting for all of these different government handouts, we take it from a mindset of consuming what they give rather than us realizing we can print our own money. You already have gifts that are monetizable. You are the bag. So I want you to think about someone that creates money rather than somebody that consumes money. And I want to show you guys how to do it. Listen, if I could do this, having been broke and homeless, you can do it as well. If I could come from South Central Los Angeles and tell y'all how to be able to level up, there's nothing that you can do, man. And I just want y'all to be able to see that. So it says the stimulus is coming to an end. And it says rate hikes are coming. Fed officials now predict the central bank's benchmark interest rate to rise to 0.9% in 2022, up from the 0.3 expectation from September, signaling additional interest hikes. To investors and market watchers, this suggests there will be 3 rate hikes this year. I'm going to stop reading this article because I want to go back to going into layman's terms about this subject. Notice how the article said for investors. Ain't that you? Isn't that who you want to be? Aren't you on this channel because you're trying to figure out how to take your money and put it in all the right places? The reason why this is so important is because this is going to affect investing. It's going to affect saving. It's going to affect borrowing. It's going to affect employment. This is going to affect everything related to how the economy runs. And I want to make sure y'all are prepared. So, guys, let's talk about this. Let's talk about what this means in terms of the interest rates rising and how it affects you. So, like I told you guys before, when the pandemic happened, America issued over $6 trillion to the economy. This artificially pumped up the economy the same way that steroids will artificially pump up a man that's a bodybuilder. It's not real. And eventually, if you take enough steroids, it's going to cause long-term effects. Now we're going to start seeing those effects in the year to come. We're already feeling it now. And so what I want y'all to realize is that when America printed out $6 trillion a year, it also reduced the interest rates to zero. This created a dynamic where there was a lot of spending and a lot of borrowing. If somebody hands you $6 trillion, you're going to go on a shopping spree. I don't care how wise of an investor you think that you are. You know that if somebody gives you a $6 trillion bag, you're going to go out, get in the house. You're going to go out, get in the car. You're going to go traveling. You're going to want to do all of these things to live in the lap of luxury. This is what society has done as a whole. America needed its citizens to spend because the lockdowns were so restrictive. The economists were worried that if everybody was just staying in the house, not spending any money, the American economy could collapse. So they gave everybody checks so that way they would have a reason to spend. Do y'all follow me? And on top of the money that they gave out, they brought the interest rates down to zero because when you lower the interest rates, it's easier to borrow. How many of y'all borrow money? Some of y'all go to y'all homeboys, hey, let me get $5. Some of y'all got student loans, credit cards, payday loans. You have all of these different loans. And when the Fed reduces the interest rates, it makes borrowing easier. And that's the reason why now America's having to come back and say, whoa, listen, we've given people so much money and made it so easier for them to spend that now we got to start scaling this back. Because what's happened now is, now that all of this money has been pushed out of the economy and so many people are buying up so many things, what's happening is inflation. Prices are going up because everybody is spending. All of these businesses are able to raise its prices, knowing that people are still looking to pay. We have to see how the economy works. See, what I want y'all to do on this broadcast is I want y'all to just find it in your heart to come back to this maybe 6 months later. I'm legitimately trying to educate you on how money works. Because if you can know how money works, that gives you a much better position to have more of it. And guess what? Listen, guys, when we talk about making more money, it's not so you could be one of the wicked 1% that's filthy rich and exploits the people. That's not what this is about. This is about you having enough money to be able to provide for your family. I am very worried that a lot of you don't realize that the economy is moving to a place where the average person will not be able to sustain their cost of living. It's already predicted behind the scenes that in 2022, you're going to see a lot more crime and violence because you're going to have so many people in the middle class not be able to provide for their families. You think it's a game, but wait until it happens. And y'all are going to wish that y'all was following everything that I was going over in tonight's broadcast, so that way you could pivot out of it. When inflation happened, prices went up. This is the reason why gas has gone up. This is the reason why the housing prices have just soared through the roof. This is the reason why whenever you go to the grocery stores, the prices are always rising. Now, the thing about it is this, guys, this inflation, it's not going nowhere no time soon. These prices are going to stay where they're at. Now, what the Fed is trying to do is they're trying to raise the interest rates in the economy so that it will stop the rise of inflation. Everybody is out here spending their stimulus money. Now, what economists are trying to do is they're trying to cut back on the stimulus so that way people stop getting free checks. And they're hoping that people will spend less so that way prices don't go up more. They're already starting to see that the price range is getting so high from the common man that if they don't put a stop to this right now, it is going to be pandemonium. Y'all heard it here first. I kept telling y'all there's going to be hyperinflation. I kept telling y'all, Ray Dalio was warning people that there's going to be a civil war in America. If you have been on this broadcast consistently for the past few months, you know that I've been speaking on this at length. So I'm going to take a quick pause. I'm going to bring my brother Yasha Allah in here. I need you to co-sign that, Yasha Allah. Have I not been telling the audience for months that this would happen?
Shalom, big brother. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. And with inflation, you're correct. A lot of people don't understand what it is.
Right.
And like the brother is saying, the ones who are going to see it are the ones who are paying attention.
Right.
90% is not going to pay attention. They're just not. That's just the way it is.
Still sleep.
You know what I mean? They still sleep and going to remain asleep. And when they hit, they're like, dude, they've been doing that for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Nothing's new. The government is smart. Trust me. They do things years ahead of time and call it something else to bring it in later.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like years ago, remember first front wheel drive came out in cars?
Yes, sir.
I'm like, no, people. It was 4 or 5 years earlier because I remember the model it came out on. It just came popular during that time. Everybody think it's new. No, it's not new. They've been trying to test drive. That's all they doing. Right. You know what I mean? And when it hit, you don't think about it because it's years ago. You know what I mean? Just like my rent. Nobody can remember. I don't know if y'all can remember. My rent, I was in a nice neighborhood, 1-bedroom apartment, laid out apartment. I was only paying $350 a month.
Wow, that was back in the day.
Right.
$350 a month. You can't even fill up your gas tank for the month on $350 now.
And it was only 2 of us in the whole entire neighborhood. So I was living, you know what I'm saying? But now you're not getting that anywhere. You're just not. Right. And just slowly progress. And like you said, inflation, they got to recuperate the money some kind of way. Right. And that's how you're going to get your own interest. They got to do it. That's the way it is.
And see, here's the thing about it. You bring up such an excellent point. There's such a thing known as the boiling frog experiment. Have you heard about that? The boiling frog, where when you cook the frog, you don't put the frog in boiling temperatures initially. You put it in lukewarm water, and then over time, you begin to raise the temperature because the frog is going to get comfortable with its condition. See, if the water is already boiling, whenever you throw the frog in there, it's immediately going to jump out because it's going to feel the shock. But if you just put that frog in comfortable conditions for a time, as you start to raise that heat on them, they'll be so comfortable that they'll stay in the condition that they're in and die. And that's what I'm trying to spare our community from. I'm trying to spare us from being the boiling frogs of America. All these billionaires are already pivoting. Ray Dalio is pivoting. Warren Buffett is pivoting. All these other guys, the CEO of Twitter is pivoting. But it's us that think, okay, well, the only thing I got to do is just work a job. And hopefully I make enough money through my job and I'm able to do something. I'm going to give you all a prime example. Some of y'all probably seen the show BMF. It's a show on Power. It's about the story of Big Meech. In one of the episodes, the father of the family was like, what's going on? Why is our mortgage 3 months behind? How are we behind on the mortgage and I'm busting my butt at work every single day? The wife who was managing the finances had to say, Negro, just because you go to work, that don't mean that we're able to cover all these bills. It's like a lot of our people have that mindset, though. A lot of our people have the mindset, okay, as long as I'm going to work and I'm punching the clock, then that means that all of my bills are taken care of. No, you got to understand that inflation is outpacing your earnings. And that's the reason why you need to know how to create multiple streams of income. So that way you can better control where the economy is going.
And you're correct. And you got to pay attention, like me, like the fuel costs. Listen, on trucks, I pay about $1,200 more money per month just to work.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't. I have to stay in a certain range to keep the prices the same. I can't go out west of California for this. If I did, I had to. Hey, I got to take the load at a higher price. Right. And that's going to cover everybody. You know what I'm saying? So you got to pay attention. You know, if you shopping, what I used to do was keep receipts when I go grocery shopping. So the following quarter, I can always look back to see what I'm paying for groceries.
Right.
And a lot of people don't do that. And you can see when the prices jump. And how it jumps, like you said earlier about the frog, they'll raise it 5 cents, 10 cents, $1, and you get comfortable. And they keep raising it and raising it. Before you know it, when you think about it, oh my gosh, what happened?
Yeah, because you know, y'all would always talk about, man, I remember back when the price of gas was less than $1.
85 cents.
How much?
85 cents.
Wow.
Right.
Long gone are those days.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How much was it for you to go to the movies back in the day?
I think it was like maybe $3, $2.50, $3. That was it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, that was
Now they've set up like a dollar movie theater just to try to make that the same
right,
thing, but it's not the same experience.
right.
And you know, some of the things, man, I just want to point out for everybody to really peep game on this. I'm still trying to show y'all what this means for you. At a high level, you may not know how inflation bothers you from day to day, even though you're paying the prices for it. The Fed raising interest rates means it's going to be harder for you to borrow. It's going to be harder for you to borrow things like mortgage loans, car loans, student loans, and business loans. Many of the things that we want on a day-to-day basis in our lives is going to be pushed away. This Yasha Allah, man, can you tell people to wake up? The reason why I'm doing this broadcast is because I want us to understand. See, a lot of other cultures, Yasha Allah, and you know this, a lot of other cultures, this be the reason why they buy in bulk, because they know that if you're just trying to buy one little item, day by day, next week it could be something totally different. 2 weeks from now, it could be totally different. But see, we don't think into the future. We've not been taught this about how to manage our money. And that's the reason why it's so important that we have this kind of talk. When the Federal Reserve makes these increases in interest rates, is going to be that much harder to qualify for a loan. Now, a lot of y'all right now are struggling to qualify for loans. There are so many articles that went out in 2021 that said that millennials, it's almost impossible to buy a home in today's marketplace. We've already been getting pushed out in 2021. So for some of y'all, like how they used to talk about back in the day, redlining, this money game, this is the new redlining. And it's not happening just by race. It's happening by the class system. There is not going to be any middle class in the next 5 years. You're either going to have it or you don't. And so I want you guys to understand, home loans are going up. Car loans are going up. Student loans are going up. Business loans. If you're trying to get a credit card, that interest rate is going up. If you're trying to get a personal loan, all of that is being impacted. You qualifying for a loan and receiving it is going to be more expensive. So let me give you all this example real quick, okay? Let's say that you are in a family that wants to buy a home for $300,000. You go out and you try to buy a home for $300K, and you want to get a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. Now, if the banks offer you a loan at 3.5% right now, the total lifetime cost of that mortgage would be approximately $485,000. You took out a loan for $350,000, and with interest included, the total amount that you will pay over that 30-year time frame is approximately $485K. Okay. $185,000 is going to come from interest. That's why it's $300,000 loan, but then you're going to be paying so much in interest. You're going to be paying about $1,300 a month. If we're being accurate, $1,340. I'm just giving you all the math. The next thing that I want you guys to think about is, well, what would happen if by this time next year, the Fed actually did raise interest rates by 1%? Let's take that exact same family. You go out this time next year, you want to buy a home. You wasn't trying to listen to the Uzziah show to see what I had to say. So now you go out and try to buy that same home for $300,000. You take out a loan for $300K, and now the interest rate is at 4.5%. You go for a 30-year loan, and your family will now have to pay a total of $547,000 for the exact same house that you wanted last year. This is the significance of the economy. This is the significance of what the Federal Reserve is doing. So instead of you only paying $185K in interest this year, come next year, when you lock in that loan at 4.5%, that's going to take you to a total interest of $247,000. That's not only going to affect how much interest you pay over time, it's also going to raise the monthly cost of your mortgage payment. You're now going to go up from $1,300 to $1,500. It is going to be harder for you to qualify for a loan. It's going to be harder for you to afford it. It's going to be harder for you to be able to provide this for your family. And that's the reason why I just want y'all to tune in. Just stay with me tonight, y'all. All right. I know y'all might be thinking, oh, this is just some smart stuff. We about to nerd out. No, I'm literally breaking down to you how this is going to affect you and your family step by step. Make sure that y'all smash that like button. Make sure that y'all donate if you want to see this show going, okay? All you got to do is tap that dollar icon directly below the live chat box. Or for those of y'all that like using Cash App or PayPal, the links are in the description below, okay? So now, Sheer Queen said, will this affect current loans? No, because one of the things that happens with current loans, especially for those of you guys that may get homes for a conventional fixed rate mortgage, your loan is already locked in at its current rate. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, guys, because if you have a home and you did not refinance this year, this was the year to do it. Okay. You needed to refinance while the Federal Reserve kept the interest rates down to 0%. This is the number one time for you to conduct a refinance. Now, if you ended up, unfortunately, getting an adjustable fixed rate mortgage, then yes, Sheer Queen, this will affect current loans. This is what happened during the time of the housing crisis that happened back in 2008. Do y'all remember that? What happened was there were a lot of people that ended up buying homes. And when the economy started to go up in terms of its interest rates and its prices, people could no longer afford the payments. Now, y'all got to remember, even if you have a conventional fixed rate loan, it's not just about you having that interest rate locked in. You also got to think about your cost of living, because when you buy a home, you end up spending money on things like property taxes. Everything else is going up. So really great question, Sheer Queen. This is going to affect us all on some level, some just different than others. And again, for those of y'all that have had good credit over this year and you want to stay out of trouble, you really need to start contacting your companies that you're borrowing from, and you need to be asking to lower the rate. You will not have those options come this time next year. Sheer Queen says, I was praying next year was my year to buy a home. Shake my head. See, this is one of the biggest problems that is going to affect so many of us. I know it's affected me a billion times over. Positioning yourself properly in the marketplace. There is a certain time that would have been good to invest in Bitcoin. Am I right? There's a certain time that you would want it to invest in the stock market. Imagine if you could have positioned yourself to invest in Amazon when it was starting. But see, the problem is the reason why so many of us don't catch the trends early is because we didn't put ourselves in the position financially to take advantage when things happen. And so we started to see everybody else take off and get money, but we weren't in position to do it. We weren't in position to make a lot of money from crypto. We weren't in the right position to be able to make money from Amazon. So what happens is we learn these things on the back end, and a lot of times we don't learn to be able to know any better. This is the reason why y'all gotta get this information and you got to apply it in its proper season. Okay. If y'all don't start applying this until this time next year, it's going to be too late. It's time to pivot. One thing that y'all always got to understand about your money, it's not enough to just make the money. You have to know how to use the money during the proper season because the economy always changes. All right. So I'm going to go into a few more things. Shout out to all of y'all that are leaving comments. Shout out to Ariel. Ariel is hitting me up behind the scenes, letting me know what y'all are saying. Keep that energy, Ariel. Okay. Tonight we're talking about Federal Reserve raising interest rates in 2022. This is going to affect all of us, and I want all of us to be well prepared. Please make sure that y'all smash that thumbs up button, y'all. Please make sure that y'all sponsor and donate to keep the show on air, okay? Here is what y'all need to know. You need to know that all of these different loans that you may be interested in is going up. Okay. Now, it still is going to be possible, Sheer Queen, for you to be able to get that home, but you just need to know how to prepare yourself. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Okay. This is not going to be all doom and gloom. This is going to be me showing you how to avoid the traps so you can still get what you want out of life without suffering along the way. Okay. Now, when the Fed raises the interest rates, this will slow down the economy. The reason why the Fed is looking to raise the interest rates is because right now the economy is known as a hot economy. That's the reason why all these businesses are raising their prices. They know everybody is spending their money. And as a result of the spendings, this is why companies can get away with higher prices. What the Fed is going to start doing is they're going to start making it harder for you to spend your money because you can't borrow anything. And then that's going to make the economy slow down. But this is going to affect employment because companies will not generate as much revenue. When everybody is spending, companies can make money. When companies make money, this is what helps the economy thrive because you can create jobs, which means that you can create more products and services, which offers additional value to the world. When the economy slows down, companies aren't able to provide as many jobs. They have to cut back on their employment and wages because they're not making the same as when the economy was hot and everybody was spending their money. So things are going to slow down and it's going to trickle down unto us. See, the job of the Fed is to try to put the economy in a sweet spot. You don't want the economy to be too hot and you don't want the economy to be too cold. You want it to be just right. You don't want everybody and their mama spending because that's what's going to raise the costs. This is all basic economy, supply and demand. It's all basic economics. And you don't want things to be too cold because if nobody is spending money, then you don't have an economy. Okay. So America needs people spending money every year. And that's the reason why I try to put y'all on game on these broadcasts, because the first people that America will come to spend their money is you. America will be looking for you first to keep it running, knowing that you don't know anything about personal finances. So you need to start leveraging what the economy is doing so that way you can capitalize on it rather than be a victim. Stock values are expected to slow down when the interest rates rise because if the economy slows down, that means companies are not going to be valued where they are today. A lot of companies may not be able to grow as high because they won't have the money to afford it. Listen, guys, it takes money to make money. It takes money in order for businesses to grow. Why do y'all think I always ask y'all to give a super chat? Y'all will see all these times I'll say, please donate, 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 because I have to take that money and put it back into the business so I can offer a better show and a better product. But if nobody is spending money, then that means businesses suffer. If businesses suffer, that means I'm not able to give you a job. I really want y'all to think about that, my people. I want you to think about the opportunity of this eventually becoming something that's able to not only provide people with education, but also jobs and benefits. I already got staff running right now, but it's going to be hard when the economy makes its shifts and businesses don't get money. No money, no jobs. No money, no value. So here's what you can do about it. Here's a step-by-step walkthrough on how you should prepare for 2022, knowing that the Federal Reserve is looking to raise the interest rates 3 times. The first thing that y'all need to do is maximize your credit score. If you've been BSing on your credit, now is the time to get your life together. So the first thing that y'all should be doing is signing up for Credit Karma. I wish I was sponsored by Credit Karma, but I'm not. So it's a free plug. Credit Karma, if y'all seeing this, y'all know y'all got to support your boy. You should at least be on mint.com or creditkarma.com, like I always tell y'all, because I need you to start monitoring your FICO score. You need to start monitoring where your credit is going. And guys, the reason why it's so important to maximize your credit score during this time is because regardless of the Fed raising their rates, chances are you may be looking for a loan. Some of you guys are going to be looking to go back to school. Some of you guys are going to be looking to buy a car. Some of you guys are going to be looking to buy a house. Whatever it is that's going to make you require debt, you want to take that debt out as affordable as possible. You don't want to be the type of person that gets the worst interest rates out of everybody, all because your credit wasn't cleaned up. So in this economy where things are going to be cooled down, you need to make sure that your credit score is on point so that way you get the lowest rates. Secondly, since we're talking about debt, you need to make sure that you're getting out of debt. You need to make sure that if you have an existing loan, you pay that off, because you going out and getting more debt is only going to make things more expensive. I always tell you guys, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. This is why we talk about positioning, Sheer Queen. Do y'all understand, my people? It's not enough that you just make money. It's about you knowing what to do with the money in the right time. There was a time where people were getting rich off of Shiba Inu. That time right now has expired. There was a time where people were getting wealthy off of Bitcoin. Right now, that window shrinked. Now, that's not to say that people are not going to get wealthy through those streams again, but I'm showing you got to know the season you're in. The same way that you got spring, summer, winter, and fall, you're going to dress according to the season. You got to understand finances have its seasons. See, I'm giving y'all 1% talk tonight. I really don't think that y'all understand that. Ray Dalio know exactly what I'm talking about. Warren Buffett know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of the top hedge fund managers have what is called an all seasons portfolio because they know there's going to be a season where the economy is booming. They know there's going to be a season where money's going to go under. There's going to be a recession, a depression, a bull market, a bear market. You got to be up on these things if you're trying to level up. Because again, it's like I keep telling y'all, a lot of y'all foolishly say, well, I don't need to know about money because I'm not trying to be rich. This does not have to do with being rich. What this has to do with is America is becoming so expensive, you damn near have to be rich just to make it. But see, we're so accustomed to all of these government handouts that we don't realize if the government decides to stop giving us some of these handouts, whether it be welfare, WIC, Social Security, we would be screwed. And I just want y'all to be prepared. You see everything that's happening right now with all of these shortages of supplies. You got all of these different goods that's stuck in cargo in the ocean. You need to be prepared for when things get hard. That's the reason why you need to maximize your credit score. Guys, do what's let me get myself right. Let me get myself right together. Let me get myself together. I want you guys to do hard things when it's easy. What I mean by that is for somebody like Sheer Queen that wants to buy a home next year, don't wait until the Fed raises the interest rate for you to start trying to clean up your credit. Right now, while it's easy, while you still have the time, right, Yashal? I'm about to bring you in on this. Remember, you was just telling them yesterday, Yashal, about if you're trying to clean up your credit, give it 6 to 8 months. Weren't you just saying that yesterday?
Yes, sir.
You see that? That's what's doing what's difficult when it's easy. But a lot of times our people will say, okay, well, I want a house. And then you won't look at your credit score until the underwriter already has the file. And then by then it is too late for you to get the things off your reports. It's going to be too late for you to start hitting up the bureau saying, please change this, because it takes a certain window of time before you get it off your credit. You got anything you want to say on that real quick, Yashala?
And you right on that. You got to get your credit, and our people just won't do it. I got my Credit Karma at least twice a week. You know what I mean? At least twice a week, because it can drop. That's just credit. You know what I'm saying? You fill out application here, get a credit card here, or inquiry here, it could drop. You know what I mean? That's just the way credit works. So you got to be on the game, knowing, hey, I got to keep up with it, know what's going on, make sure it's stable, make sure I can add something to it when I need to add it so it can grow. But we're just not going to do it. We're just not. You know what I mean? You got to make a routine, like you said. You every day, hey, twice a week, you got to make a routine. I got to check it. I got to check it. We got to get clean. Can I do it myself? Or I pay somebody else. That's just the way it is.
And I'm telling you, it's like it's so easy because, you know, there are these free online tools now that will tell you exactly where your credit is at. Like I keep talking about, Mint.com, Credit Karma. It'll tell you exactly what your score is, at least from the Vantage score perspective. And it'll also tell you, okay, you have this number of late payments on your report. That's what's bringing your score down. You have this many inquiries. You have this many derogatory marks. Y'all need to start looking at that, because right now, if you know that you want to buy a home or get any other kind of loan next year, y'all need to be pulling your credit reports today. And see, one thing about it, Yashala, again, doing things that are difficult when it's easy, people don't realize you're entitled to have one free credit report per year. And they were even more lenient on that now because of the pandemic.
Right. Correct.
So a lot of y'all will get duped where people are trying to sell you your credit report, and you can get your credit report for free. Y'all need to look not just at the FICO score. You got to look at your entire report, because y'all can have a score, right? But you don't know why your score is the way that it is. Is your score where it is because you missed a late payment? Is your score where it is because you don't have enough long-standing history of having different trade line accounts? I'm trying to put them up on game, Yashal. I really am. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. But see, the problem with people is we'll wait until it's raining outside, and then we're getting rained on. Then we want to run home and grab a coat. I'm trying to tell y'all now, while y'all in the house, go get that umbrella. So let me hit on a couple of these points. I'm gonna bring you back in. Listen, man, we need y'all to cam up, man. I'm going to put this link up here for y'all to cam up. Make sure that you hit the comment section. Okay, make sure that you sponsor tonight's broadcast, y'all. We need your support. Tonight, we're talking about how the Federal Reserve is raising interest rates up to 3 times in 2022 and how that's going to affect you and your family. What you need to do is you need to maximize your credit score so that way you can still qualify and afford loans next year if you need to take them out. Y'all know I'm very much against the idea of getting into debt. However, I do understand at times it is a necessary evil. Some of you guys are thinking about becoming real estate investors next year. Well, if you take out a mortgage, this is what you're going to be up against. Also, if you guys are in debt, pay off your debt, because that's one of the things that will help you maximize your credit score. All of you guys always ask about, should I take out another credit card to improve my credit score and build my credit? I ended up having an excellent credit score in my early 20s just because I paid off my student loans. The credit bureaus were like, yo, this dude, we can give this dude all kind of money. This dude had over $100,000 in student loan debt and he paid it all off within 2 years. Of course, we're going to give him money. And that's the reason why it was very easy for me to buy my first real estate investment. As I look at that time in hindsight, man, it was like they was throwing the money at me, all because I already had a strong track record of paying off large sums of money. So the lender already knew that they could trust me with it, even though I had never had a house. It was very hard for me as a young Black man. I'm walking into these lenders' offices. I'm 25 years old, trying to buy multi-units in North Austin. They're like, who the hell are you? I'm showing them my file, and then they start putting some respect on my name. Oh, yes, sir, we can definitely offer you a loan. We see that you know how to pay on time. Show some respect. So, guys, I just want you to realize you need to start looking into the future and planning for today. You got to reverse engineer your life. If you know where you want to be at in a year's time, don't wait for the year to come. Start planning for tomorrow today. Okay, so make sure that you get out of debt. Third, like I said earlier, if you have a home and you have not refinanced, this was the year to do it. I refinanced on my real estate property this year, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. Boy, it was one of the biggest wins of the year, I gotta say, because when I refinanced, my refinance lowered my monthly mortgage almost $600. And guess what? I don't make my mortgage payments. I have tenants that pay on the bill. So all that does is widen my cash flow, which gives me opportunity to invest in more properties per year. I want y'all to win. Listen, I could easily just go off and do this stuff by myself, guys. But I'm getting on here night after night on these free broadcasts because I'm trying to take y'all with me. Make sure that you refinance on your home if you already have one, but only do it if you're going to look at a 1% reduction or more. You know, don't just refinance just to refinance. You need to make sure that it is worth your time. If you have a loan right now, let's say at a 3.7% interest rate on your existing home, you should try to see if you could get that refinance down to 2.7% or less while you can. Okay. Because again, when the Fed starts playing with these interest rates next year, all of that 2% stuff is going to be off the table. Also, for those of you guys that are looking into buying a home, if you're thinking about buying a home, got to tell y'all, man, now is the time. And this is the reason why I talk about positioning, because there's a certain window for you to make moves in the economy. And if you don't make moves within that window, you could miss out. You know, one of my wife's favorite quotes is from the brother E.T. Shout out to E.T. Eric Thomas. One of the things that he always talks about is how you have to take advantage of the opportunity of a lifetime in the lifetime of the opportunity. A lot of us, Yashala, we really believe in our heart, oh, the opportunity is always going to be there. The bag's always going to be there. The house is always going to be there. The stocks is always going to be there. The economy changes, and a lot of times, Yashala, you got to tell them, man, when you get older, you will look back at your life and you will wish that you were more focused on capitalizing on certain opportunities in the time that you had it. You will come to a realization that those opportunities will not always be there. Yashala, you got something on that? Can you co-sign that?
Yes, like I said, a wisher. Most people are wishers. I was a wisher too. Don't get me wrong. We all wishers at one time. You know what I mean? And when you get older, man, I wish I did this for my kids. I wish I had done this. I wish I had stuck this money over here. Why did I sell the property here? I had some property here. Why did I sell that property here? You know what I mean? They offered me some money. Like, oh, it's pretty good money, but I should have kept it. Now it's a big, huge, you know what I'm saying? I didn't look at those things for the future. And we just don't, we think the world's going to be the way it is. I'm happy. I'll just stay stuck. You know what I mean? I'm comfortable. You shouldn't be comfortable because things change. It's because you're comfortable today, it's going to change next year, maybe 6 months from now, 2 years from now. It's going to change. That's just life itself. When you get older, you think a lot of things go in your head every single day, and it can be painful.
Right.
Very painful. You know what I mean? And so you young cats out there, sisters and brothers, you need to get on the ball, step the game up, get your credit right. And I see it all the time. We just won't, like you said earlier, we just won't do it.
Right. Now, I got a question for you, sir. What advice can you give to those of us that are on tonight's show about how we can build our credit even when we can't spend as much? Like, you know how a lot of times people will say, well, if you want to build your credit, you need to spend money, right? You need to spend money on your credit and you need to do this and that. If the interest rates increase and spending is cut, how would you advise people to still build their credit scores even if they're not spending as much money?
You got to be disciplined. That's the key point. If you're not disciplined, nothing's going to work. Buying a home, buying a car, if you're not disciplined, it's not going to, especially with your credit, it's not going to work. Mm-hmm. You can get credit cards if you can. You got to know how to get them. You don't want to apply with too many inquiries. That affects your credit score too. Right. But there's ways around there. You can get 4 or 5 credit cards with 1 inquiry. You can do that too. You know what I mean? So if you get your credit and you spend everything on your credit and your interest is 29%, 19%, 18%, whatever your interest rate is, if you pay it off, like you said the other day before due date, you don't pay no interest. That's the key point. And you still get points.
Right.
You still get points. Remember that. The key goal is try to keep it under 2%. You know what I mean? I don't pay all mine off. I keep it down to 2% or 1% because you get max points. You get max points. Pay it all off, you don't get the max points. You know what I mean?
It's something funny about that, Yashala. I was just speaking to one of my partners, Gilbert Moses, and he was saying earlier today about how he will often use credit responsibly so that way he can get cash back on his credit card. So these credit cards, they do offer different perks, but you got to know how to use them well because there is a system behind it. And if you're not disciplined, like you said, it's easy to get caught up.
Right. And you have different credit cards for different things. Fly miles, point system, cash back, platinum, silver tone, different one for different things what you want to use for your everyday life. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you make sure that you fly a lot. Ask, hey, what kind of card you have to fly to get points? If you're a frequent flyer, you know what I mean? You get max points. So you gotta be careful doing that. But you gotta get the trade lines, you gotta get some open accounts, I don't care if I have an account. I haven't even closed the account. I only pay $2 a month. I just keep it open. Automatic take. I don't care. It still give me points. And we don't look at it. It give me points.
Right.
But they don't care about it. It's a system that looks at what you're paying. You know what I mean? $2 here, $5 here. Like you said, Netflix, your whatever you want to, you can put it on your credit. You know what I'm saying? So that way you getting the max point. Your rent, you can put on your credit. Make sure your rent's up to date. Don't get me wrong. Don't be late on your rent.
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be late. If you're going to be late, don't put it on your credit. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't do these things to be where you set, because you determine where you want to be at. I don't determine that. Brother Uzziah don't determine that. Right. You determine where you want to be at with your credit. But
absolutely. You
should be comfortable. You know what? If I want that car, I don't have no problem. Because I see how they act. They bring your soda. They bring your soda pop. And you want to see my daughter. They bring their daughter. You know, like, no. I just want the car. That's it.
Absolutely.
Because prices are sky high. Like my truck, I bought 3 years ago, 50-something thousand. Today, oh my gosh, man. It's like $75,000, $82,000 for the same model, same year. Inflation. You know what I'm saying? But you just have to do that. You know what I'm saying? You just have to do that. Get your credit game up. Take 6 to 8 months, sometimes more if you got foreclosure or bankruptcy. You know, and another good thing is, if you have a charge off, don't pay it. You can get it deleted for free. If you have a charge off, don't pay it. You get off for free. Because that's somebody else who bought your account that's closed. These businesses are smart.
Right.
If you have a closed account or you forfeit your money on a bill, whatever, they have insurance to pay that bill. They're not stupid.
Absolutely.
They're not stupid, people. You know what I mean? If you foreclose on a home, there was a PPI, I think it is they call it, I can't remember. That's a separate insurance on your loan to pay it off if you foreclose. They're not stupid, people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They didn't sell that account to somebody else and they try to get money from you, but they only pay $25 for the account.
Absolutely.
So don't get up for free, but learn the game.
Absolutely. Great point. Brother Yasha, let's continue to educate our community, man. For those of y'all that are on, can we please get some super chats? Please. We only got one super chat from Yasha Allah that was at 8:37. It's 9:47, y'all. Y'all are getting all of this game. Please donate. Please support. Now, Sheer Queen asked the question, what's a charge-off? Would you mind educating our audience on what a charge-off is all about?
A charge-off is a bill that you never paid because you got 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Usually it takes 90 to 106 months. They just close your account off and write it off that you never paid it. That's called a charge-off. They close your whole account off. It's a charge-off. And it goes on your bill that you never paid it. You know what I'm saying? It'll say debt. So that's called a charge-off. But don't pay it. Because it's already paid for once they close you out. You know what I mean? But debtors will try to get money from you. If you do that, the game is serious. They know how to get you. If they call your house, debtors call your house, oh, you so-and-so, I always ask who's speaking. I don't give my name for nobody first when I find out who's speaking and who you want to talk to first. Because people trap you, man. You know, black folks got a special relationship with debt collectors. They say, is John here? Here it is, you John, and you're like, right. And a lawyer tell you the same thing too. I don't answer who's speaking. It's my personal phone. It's my business phone. You know what I'm saying? But don't do that either, man.
Right.
Just don't.
But go ahead. I was gonna say a lot of people, they don't understand this game, man, that you're giving, because a lot of people don't realize if you deal with a charge-off and, like, let's say it's 2 years later, you got a debt collector, you could actually restart the 7-year cycle just by now going after the charge-off. See, what we're saying is when you get a bad mark on your credit report, guys, that mark is going to last you for the next 7 years. Correct. So if you have a charge-off which, like Yashala said, it represents you having unpaid debt in an account, like a credit card, for example. If you go from being 30 to 60 to 90 to 120 days late, somewhere within that time frame, they're going to do what's called a charge off, where they're no longer going to expect to receive the money from you, but they're going to sell off your debt to a debt collector, and the debt collector is going to buy your balance pennies on the dollar. Now, what happens is, let's say in 2021, you were 120 days late on a credit card, and that credit card got charged off. If you now come back around, now that you got your finances together in 2023, and say, oh, well, you know what? I want to do the right thing and I want to pay this charge off money. You could actually be setting yourself up, because not only did you have to pay it, you could have pocketed that money. You're actually restarting your 7-year stretch with a debt collector, because when you start working with them, sometimes it'll reactivate a debt on the account. It'll reactivate the debt to the point where they can start you off at a whole new other 7 years. So even if, say, for example, you are 6 years into a debt collection, leave it alone. Don't go into that avenue, because that's how they get you. Okay, you're signing up to have a worse credit score for the next 7 years, and you're paying them money to do it. That's why, man, shout out to the show, man. Shout out to the show. Shout out to generous brothers like Yashala, who is willing to give y'all the game, man. Real quick, I want to just take one quick second to shout out our sponsors. Thank y'all so much for now starting the super chat. I really appreciate y'all. Shout out to True Self K. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Say great little nuggets of wisdom for beginners. Listen, y'all, if y'all have yet to do so, please make sure that you smash that like button. Smash that like button, because this will tell YouTube to send this broadcast out to more people. Also, I want to give a big shout out to my sister, the one and only Sheer Queen. Thank you, Sheer Queen. Appreciate you. Shout out to you for the $5 super chat. Thank you for helping to keep the show on air. Anything else you got for the people, Yashala?
And like I said, any credit card is good if you're disciplined. You have to remember that. If you're not disciplined, it's not going to work. There are tricks of the trade to build your credit score up fast. Tricks of the trade. Don't do trade lines if you don't know how to do it. Just don't. Right. Just don't. Because you have to do a layered trade line first. You got to know how to do that. And your credit score has to be up to par first. Also, when you buy certain things, a car or whatever you were buying or something, always ask who they pull from, Experian, et cetera, because they pull for certain things first.
Right.
And each one has a score of what they look at first. 680, 715, 740. Yeah. You're not getting an American Express unless you got a 740. Period. You're just not. I remember that by heart. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna get one unless you have a 740. That's just the way it is on American Express. You're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. That's what they look at first. So certain things they look at first before you get it. And you can always ask, and they'll tell you. Everybody will tell you just where it is. You know what I mean? But you gotta be disciplined, man. You gotta start getting your credit right, and you gotta learn how to build. If you don't know how to build, get a credit repair. And you have two different types of credit repair. I'm gonna put that out right now. You have people that do a sweep. You have two people who fix your credit. Two different things. They sweep, but just clean it up, and they take their time. They're not in a rush.
Right.
That's the way it is. They're not in a rush. But three things, right? That, and you have another one where you pay per month.
Right.
Also, that takes a long time, maybe 2 years. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I do a consulting where you pay me half and half. That's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to do it by law. You know what I mean? Right. You got to do it by law. You know what I mean? But you pick and choose who you want. That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? But you should learn how to do it. A sweeper is not going to tell you how to maintain your credit and what to do. They're not going to do that. That's just the way it is. You pay your $49, $59, and that's it. So.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that, Yashala, because I talk more about that in my program, Zero to Six Figures. There's a bonus module called Build Your Credit Video Vault, and it walks people through how to maximize their credit score, how to get late payments, bankruptcies, medical bills, charge offs, all of those things off the report. You can either learn how to do this yourself, or
Right.
in the interest of time, or just in confidence, because you might not want to toy with things, you can pay somebody else to do it. So listen, y'all, you got Yasha Allah here. He's credit specialist. He'll hook you up. You can work through some of my programs. The content is here. It's just up to you. Like you keep saying, it's up to you.
Right.
People, you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Real quick,
Right.
I'm going to throw out one or two more of these points. I'm going to swing it back to you, then we're going to call it a night. So, y'all, there's a lot of game that's come out tonight. And I still want to share with you what you should do about the Federal Reserve raising interest rates in the year to come. We talked about you maximizing your credit score. We talked about you getting out of debt. We talked about you refinancing on your home if you haven't done so already. We've also talked about if you're looking to buy a home right now, really being the ideal time for a while. Now, I'm saying that, take it with a grain of salt. And the reason why I say take it with a grain of salt is because even though the Federal Reserve is looking to reduce spending next year, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are actually considering raising how much money you can afford to borrow for a conventional loan for next year. So some of you guys may want to get a loan at a higher amount than what you can currently qualify for. The limits on a conventional loan is going to increase next year, most likely. So you're going to have to take the bad with the good. It'll be a more expensive loan that'll come at higher interest rates, but you may be able to take out more money. Okay. Now, again, don't quote me on that. I don't work for the Federal Reserve. I don't work for Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. I don't know what they're going to do for sure. However, these are the things that they've been talking about publicly. Everything that I'm telling you guys is not just my hunch. I'm going off of some of the things that they have hinted at throughout this year, but we need to sit back and see where the market is going. Okay. Also, guys, you need to diversify your assets. Since we don't know precisely what's going to happen in the economy, we need to have our money in different things to see how things shake up. You always know I talk about the importance of having your money in things like stocks, bonds, gold, cryptocurrency, real estate, business. The list goes on. The reason why I always champion these things is because if any one market goes down, you still have money coming from other places. See, even if y'all don't want to sponsor the show and get super chat, I got to get money from other places. You got to have multiple streams of income. And for those of you that have been sponsoring, thank you so much. Y'all know I just had to throw something in there real quick. All right. So shout out to everybody who has donated. If you've yet to do so, please make sure that you tap the dollar icon directly below, y'all. Okay. I'm going to put the sponsorship info back on the screen. Y'all can see it scrolling by. If you want to donate, the Cash App and the PayPal information is all there. Sheer Queen said, Shade. But listen, Sheer Queen, I saw your message. You said you were thinking about your future. You love the knowledge. It'll help you be able to create more money to give. Listen, man, I don't forget about y'all that donate to this broadcast. Anybody who has donated to this broadcast on a consistent basis will tell you, I look out. You never know. You sponsor enough, I give you a free course. I give you a free consulting session. Some of y'all, listen, just keep the sponsorships where it's at. And who knows, one day your boy might make it big. And some of y'all might wish y'all got in good with me before the money really gets up. So just know, by y'all sponsoring is just making an investment in your growth as well as the growth of the channel. Okay. So now going back to these points, One thing that I want you guys to do is look into a money market account, okay? Because the same way that interest rates are going to go up on debts, interest rates are also going to increase on things like a savings account or a certificate of deposit. Now, obviously, y'all know the banks ain't handing out big money on interest. However, as the Fed increases the interest rates, there is more money that you can make in interest through your savings account. So just check out your local bank. Y'all know I always tell y'all to go with a credit union, but this is a good time to start checking out different accounts on bankrate.com just to see where some of the money market accounts are going to go in terms of interest rates. Wait for it to go up before you decide to get a certain account, because the interest rates can create better opportunities with other banks over the next 12 months. Last but not least, guys, I want you guys to focus on your entrepreneurship. Y'all know this show is all about helping you get out of debt so you can start your own business. And with that being said, one of the best ways that you can hedge against inflation is by you being an entrepreneur where you can control your own prices. See, if everybody else is making money because of inflation, you can make money because of inflation. You need to start seeing other ways to make money outside of your 9-to-5 job. Listen, guys, if you're only relying on your fixed salary, you're going to be in for a rough road. You need to start making new streams of income so that way you can take care of your family for years to come. This is not about being rich. This is about you being safe and secure when the middle class is cut. America is shifting to the haves and have-nots completely. So it's important that you are on the right side that you want to be on. Now, if you want to be a vagabond and not have no money and be out here, suffering, hey, do you. But if you want to be able to have financial independence, this is the time, because everything is going up and you need to be going up along with it. Yashala, anything else for the people before we get off of tonight's broadcast, sir?
Yes, learn first what you're doing. That's important.
Absolutely.
Be disciplined. That's important. Keep learning. That's important. Because people get out here and jump out here and, oh, I didn't know that. Why you find out first? Why you get no consulting? No nothing first. A lady the other day, I'm on a site, real quick, networking site for truckers. Yeah. She bought a truck and don't know nothing about truck driving.
Wow.
I didn't say nothing. Can you help me? I kept my mouth shut. I want to say something, but she gonna go broke. That's just what. And trucking will make you penniless. If you don't understand that, it will make. I see people out here homeless. Trucking is serious. You better know what you're doing. You know what I mean? That's it. Because people rob you blind. Because with me, when I was younger, I robbed you blind. You wouldn't know it. I would talk about your brother Uzziah, and I got 4 hours from you, and you wouldn't even know it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's that easy if you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to go broke. That's just the way it is. And I was like, know what you're doing first. If you're doing things, keep learning, get consulting. Don't ever stop learning, and be disciplined. You'll be all right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, I hope that the people are listening. I appreciate you so much for being on here, as always, my brother. Let's make sure that we continue to do our part. I know that there are some that are out there that are tuning in and do take this seriously. So thank y'all for tuning in. Shout out to you, Yashala, for being a top sponsor. As always, thank you always for your support. Lord willing, I'll see you on the next broadcast. All right, now. So listen, y'all, it's been an incredible show. Before we close this thing out, y'all know I got some announcements. Listen, if you guys really enjoyed everything that we went over for tonight's broadcast, then I highly recommend you check out my free masterclass, The 3 Keys to Financial Freedom. Okay, this is a free masterclass that I've put together for you guys. to show you how you can do better with your money. So I'm going to share with you not only a link so you can access it, I'm also going to show you what it looks like on your screen. Okay. When you click the screen, y'all are going to see me, and I'm going to be giving
Are
y'all a
you a
full
career-driven
rundown.
person that's serious about
Uh-oh.
creating generational wealth? If
Y'all
so,
see me.
I
Y'all
want to
see
show
me.
you how
Y'all
to
know who
build
it
that
is,
wealth
okay?
without you
When you
having to
get
go
to
through
this
the pain of
page,
working at a
you're going to be able
9-to-5
to
job.
access my free masterclass, and I'm going to walk you through some of the most important things that you need to know about money in order to create generational wealth. What we went over tonight is very specific to 2022 calendar year. What I put in the masterclass, that's going to be information that will last you a lifetime. Now, for those of you guys that check out that masterclass, all you got to do is just tell me where to send it. And then as soon as you hit it, the masterclass will be live. That's totally free. Some of you guys may have already been on that masterclass, and I tell you more about how you can work with me on the next step up. I just want y'all to know, for those of y'all that get that far into the free masterclass where you want to know any next steps to work with me forward, do not pay attention to the offer price at the end of the masterclass. That's changed. It's been reduced in half. So do not get discouraged if after watching the free masterclass, you decide that you want to take the next step forward, but you're like, oh man, I don't have it. Just go through the masterclass, okay? And make sure that you check out what the next steps have in store. If you're interested, here's the link to join, okay? I'm going to put the link in the description right now. Listen, y'all, everything that y'all need, I'm giving it right now. I'm giving y'all free broadcasts. I'm giving you free masterclasses. Damn, it's free, 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 free. And if you want to take the next step up, I have options for that as well. Okay. So let's just make sure that we do everything that we need to do, y'all, in order to be effective in 2022. I know a lot of us got set back with the pandemic and everything that has happened. I sincerely want to see y'all win. That's the reason why I get on here 6 days a week, giving y'all this game for free. Okay. But you got to want to see yourself win also. So make sure that you take care of business. Make sure that you check out my free masterclass. Like I said, even if you decide to not work with me on any professional level, all this content is here right now at your disposal, completely for free. And I want to take a quick moment to acknowledge our sponsors for tonight's broadcast. Now, as I always say, for this show to happen, I need sponsorship to keep this thing on air. As you can see, it takes time, money, energy, effort. I don't get on here and start winging it. I'm not like one of those content creators that just gets on here and starts talking slick. When I come on these shows, I'm already leveraging the day's research of giving you guys the best up-to-date content to make sure that you can get to the next level and level up. Okay, guys? So please understand there's time that goes into this thing before the show, during the show, and after the show. And all I ask is your sponsorship. So if y'all get value from these broadcasts and you want to see this show continue to stay on air, then please sponsor the mission. And whoever makes the top donation for the broadcast is the official sponsor for the show. So I want to acknowledge my sister Sheer Queen. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you, my sister. Thank you for showing love as always. Also, I want to give a shout out to True Self K for the $10 super chat. Really appreciate you, y'all. Really means a lot. Said great little nuggets of wisdom for beginners. Listen, y'all, this is going to be a great refresher, man. Regardless of where y'all are at financially, just by you being current on what's happening in the marketplace is going to help you make wise decisions. Even if you know how the economy operates, it's always good to know what's happening. All right. Also, I want to give a shout out to what seems to be our official sponsor for tonight's broadcast, the one, the only, the incomparable, my brother Yasha Allah. Let's give a big round of applause, y'all. $20 sponsorship. Thank you so much. For anybody that's looking to take the crown from Brother Yasha Allah, it's got to be over $20. It's got to be beyond that $20 sponsorship. So $21, $25. If you want to send the money through Super Chat, you can. All you got to do is tap the dollar icon directly below. Or if you want to give your sponsorship through Cash App or PayPal, feel free to do that as well. Just leave me a comment to let me know that you sent it. I'll shout you out. Thank you so much to all of the sponsors. Listen, y'all, the channel is growing. Stay tuned because I'm going to start getting on some of these other content creators' broadcasts. Be on the lookout for your boy. Please make sure that y'all share these lessons. Please make sure that you be your brother's keeper and you share this so that way our community knows what's going on. I don't want people to get left in the dust in the year to come. These are important things that affects our entire community, okay? So please make sure that you subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you can be alerted whenever I do another broadcast. I typically do these shows 6 days a week from Sunday through Friday, anytime between 7 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I see you, my brother Brian. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to the brother Drive By Brian. Definitely one of our top sponsors. Hey, man, there's respect amongst the sponsors, man. One top dog bigging up another. He's showing you some love, Yasha Allah. So listen, y'all, it's been incredible. Make sure that y'all focus on what came out in tonight's broadcast. Sheer Queen gave some notes. Please make sure that y'all share this broadcast, and hopefully I'll see you on the next show. Until next time, guys, keep pushing.